and 4 steals, to that matter. And Kai Jones also had a very productive game with 12 points, but Franco Miller Jr., their second lead scorer that evening with 18. Well, there he is. First-round pick by the Philadelphia 76ers. He's not only a household name here in the Bahamas, he's quickly becoming an international phenom. And Buddy Hield as well. Spent last season playing with the New Orleans Pelicans. You know the Bahamas don't want to win tonight. Well, now fans, it's the best part of the day as we'll stand for the national anthem of these two countries. National anthems of these two beautiful countries, the Bahamas and Puerto Rico, have indeed been sung, as now players come center court for the pregame handshakes. Well, now it's time to introduce 4 very important people for this evening's games, and those are 3 referees and 1 technical delegate. Well, our referees are coming from Venezuela, Mexico, and Costa Rica. You can see from Venezuela, we do have Daniel Garcia. From Mexico, we have Krishna Dominguez. And from Costa Rica, we have Roberto Fernandez. Well, the commissioner and technical delegate for this evening's game from Brazil, Guilherme Freddy Lotufo. So big thank you to all of our referees who've done a magnificent job in all of our competitions, and they will continue to do a great job here this evening. Well, it's a do-or-die game, make or break. Sir Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium here in the Seoul, Bahamas. As now we take a look at the starting 5 for Puerto Rico. Isaiah Pinheiro, who featured for them at the last Basketball World Cup. Yesriel De Jesus, along with Enrique Gabriel Freeman, Ismael Romero, and Ethan Thompson. A lot of options, of course, that they can go to, but I think you'd be very disappointed, especially how the first 2 windows went. I think the expectation was at the very least for them to be above both Jamaica and the Bahamas at this stage, but the good thing is Puerto Rico, they do have another chance. We'll take a look at the Bahamas starting 5 now, as we have just seen Puerto Rico. So coach Michael McLean, of course, assisted by Laurel Znan. There you have it, Franco Miller Jr., Buddy Hield, VJ Edgecombe, Kentuan Smith, and Kai Jones. It's a big lineup. They still have Eric Gordon to come off the bench for them. Aaron Gordon drafted by the LA Clippers in the 2008 NBA draft in the first round with the 7th pick. This most recently, his teammates with VJ Edgecombe at the Philadelphia 76ers. But what a way to kickstart the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. And Coach McLean knows he can make history. Remember, Bahamas have never ever gone to a FIBA Basketball World Cup. They played in FIBA Americups. They nearly made it to the Olympics only 2 summers ago. 1 game away, losing in that final against Spain in Valencia at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournaments. The tempo has got to be quick very early on. Like I say, both teams know what's up for grabs. If the Bahamas win, then it's going to be them, Jamaica, and the already qualified Canada going to round 2. But if Puerto Rico can win, it will change things very slightly. It's Puerto Rico only with that 1 win thus far. They lost by 2 points against Jamaica in the opener. Lost in both for that matter. It's the only win they got was a win against the Bahamas, so it's so crucial that they win this one and win the head-to-head against Bahamas. Well, right now, Jamaica currently playing against Canada, the undefeated Canada. As many expecting Canada to do the job and to clean sweep the group, but like I say, if Jamaica pull up a surprise victory, then that is going to change everything in this group. There's no doubt about it. A team, a country historically known for going to the highest level of international basketball. FIBA Americups, Basketball Olympics, and especially FIBA Basketball World Cups. That is where Puerto Rico expect to be. Again, a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, wherever you may be watching. Welcome to the beautiful Bahamas. We are here in Nassau at the Sir Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. It was only a few nights ago in which it was a 49-point blowout to the Bahamas when Jamaica were in town. Now Jamaica have taken a very long flight from the Bahamas up to Canada. It's also very beautiful this time of year in Canada. Will it be a beautiful outcome for Jamaica? Ty Jones has got to be a big force to be reckoned with tonight in the paint. Franco Miller Jr., I have no doubts he will be the primary point guard tonight, the key facilitator and floor general. But you know the points are coming from one player. Most of them Buddy Hield, and there is one of them, VJ Edgecombe of the Philadelphia 76ers. Edgecombe's points, his production has been so impressive so far here in the third window. But is it enough to lead his country to the second round? Remember, windows 4, 5, and 6 will be played at the end of the summer, November, and February. Well, it's all about this now. It's going to be the Bahamas winning the first tip. Because the Bahamas, as we saw against Jamaica, they like to play a very quick tempo in transition. Something Puerto Rico is going to be very wary of early on. That's going to be an early foul. Well, Puerto Rico don't want to get into foul trouble too early. Edgecombe just getting knocked to the ground. The key thing defensively for Puerto Rico, anytime VJ Edgecombe's got the ball in his hands, you've got to do the very best to make sure he gives it up. Because you know you're not going to stop him. The only best you could hope for is to try to contain him. Buddy Hield goes for an early penetration and gets the first 2 points for the Bahamas. And that's a very good start for a team trying to get to their first Basketball World Cup. Puerto Rico just try to settle into a good offense. Trying to find Ismael Romero. Now goes to the back down. Good post play. Well, he has developed that part of his game so well because he used to be a big man that liked to run in the open floor catching lobs. But my word, has he improved so much. He was one of their key players in that big victory against South Sudan in Manila at the last Basketball World Cup. That's a nice little ISO move. Good take in the paint. Goes in and finishes. Now Franco Miller Jr., you talk about progression. There's another young man who's really coming to his own. spending the last season with the Santa Cruz Warriors in the G League. We go back to Romero. Little teardrop. That one just rolls its way out. Bahamas looking to extend their lead early on here in the first quarter. Well, they go to one player in the corner. Three is up, and that's beautifully tucked away by VJ Edgecombe. There you go. Picking up right where he left off against Jamaica on this home court. 26 points in that game against Jamaica. Puerto Rico just comfortably get this inside the paint. That's a great take by Enrique Freeman. Buddy Hill still very much a dominant factor here as Kai Jones going for a tough fadeaway. And now Puerto Rico can run. It's a 4-on-2 here in transition. Throws himself in the bank is open. This is very smooth play by De Jesus. 3 players already for Puerto Rico getting on the stat sheet, all points. Just coming nearly inside the paint is Edgecombe. Just drawing his way into traffic. It looks like another foul is going to be called. That foul looks like it's going to be called on Thompson. So sideline possession coming up to the Bahamas. A win tonight would take them to 3 victories, and that would all but eliminate Puerto Rico from getting to the second round. Puerto Rico's defense chasing Buddy Hill. I know he's got one thing on his mind is Franco Miller. He'll go for a 3, and that's way off. Trying to take the lead for the first time. Goes in the lane, and he just lost control of that as he went to the basket. Now Pinheiro will go to the charity stripe. He's one of their veteran players. Spent last season playing in Puerto Rico for Cangrejos de Santurce. Averaging 7.8 points and 4.6 rebounds per game so far in these qualification windows. Well, Pinheiro had a very successful career playing in Turkey. Goes play for Mersin, Vefriga, and Darüşşafaka, all in FIBA's elite continental competition, the Basketball Champions League. Just won the LBL, the Lithuanian Basketball, the Latvian Basketball League Championship in 2021. Second free throw good. Puerto Rico now going on a 6-0 run, reclaiming the lead by 1 point. Franco Miller gets the defense under the screen. Bahamas go for another 3-pointer, and that's easily tucked away. Well, Kentuan Smith, you talk about ambassadors for this national team over the years. He's been one of them. And Puerto Rico responding with a 3-pointer very quickly. As De Jesus getting his second field goal, now moving up to 5 points. And Kentuan Smith, same spot, different results. De Jesus, you can see the confidence building in his game. And that's going to be a second team foul against the Bahamas here in the first quarter. That's on VJ Edgecombe. Maybe a sense of anxiety here in this arena because the euphoria in which this crowd was getting from this big performance from VJ Edgecombe against Jamaica. Now you're up against a very different opponent, an experienced opponent. There's no team like Puerto Rico that know how to play big when the backs are up against the wall. Little pump fake. Now goes baseline, splits the defense and gets rejected. Well, Kai Jones said, no, sir, not in my house. Access denied. Well, look at this. It's a beautiful Euro step on a penetration, but KJ recovers. Says, get out of here. Now we're under 10 for Puerto Rico. And that's going to be a foul called against the Bahamas number 13, Dayton Albury. So free throws coming up for Yesril De Jesus. That's going to be the third team foul against the Bahamas here in the first quarter. Well, 36 years of age. Spent last season playing for Leones de Ponce, one of the top powerhouses of Puerto Rican basketball. Born and raised in Carolina, Puerto Rico. Has quite an extensive international career, but mainly the bulk of his professional career has come within the Americas. Brief time playing in Mexico for Fuerza Regida. Because anybody knows anything about them, that's the former team of Juan Toscano before he embarked on that career in the NBA. As Edgecombe gets right to the rack and he finishes inside the paint. A great take by VJ Edgecombe. That's his second field goal here in the first quarter. Puerto Rico know they're not going to stop him tonight. Pinheiro nearly loses it. Puerto Rico reclaim it. Tough defense. And Buddy Hield comes up with a rebound. Bahamas looking to retake the lead. Edgecombe, he's made 1 3 and makes another one. Philadelphia 76ers finest. That is the future. 8 points already for VJ Edgecombe. Now they find a one-handed jam coming from Ismael Romero. Oh, he got so quickly down the floor to set the screen. And that looks like it's going to remain possession to the Bahamas. Oh, look at here. VJ, that range has no limits. And that's from the city of brotherly love. There's a change coming in now for Puerto Rico. Zion Clavell subbing into the game for the first time. Well, VJ Edgecombe's made 2 threes. That one a little way off the mark. If you're a neutral fan, you want to see this game go right down to the wire, but in the case of Puerto Rico, they must win by 6 points. Pinheiro mid-range, and that's beautifully tucked away. And this is where leadership is going to be so invaluable for both teams. Specifically the experience that definitely these Puerto Rican players, they've got a few miles on. These players of the Bahamas. Buddy Hield, unsuccessful 3-point attempt. That's the 5th 3-point attempt now for the Bahamas. Now Romero goes in, the pass was fine, but the finish, not quite there. And still can't follow up. And third time, no good. Finally, the Bahamas come up with it. That just galvanizes the home crowd. Can they make them pay? Little pump fake, little kick out, another 3. Well, the Bahamas need to realize they can't live and die from the three-pointer tonight. Not always going to shoot 19 threes at 52%. Romero, quick post move. He's had 2 good looks. But the post interior defense of the Bahamas making it tough. Buddy Hield kicks out. Kai Jones. And they'll go for another one. And everybody crashing the boards for the Bahamas. Trying to keep the ball away from VJ Edgecombe's hands. Well, Puerto Rico will go for another D1, and that is going to be, right now, the 3rd 3-point attempt. Well, Puerto Rico. No, excuse me, that's the second one. They're 2 out of 2 from the perimeter. I'll make it 3, excuse me. 5-point lead to Puerto Rico. Kai Jones got a kick out. Ken Swan-Smith wide open. And he'll hit his second one. Well, they needed that one. Samuel Hunter. And wide open, uncontested. And Puerto Rico just make the Bahamas pay. And both teams exchanging 3-point buckets. And a timeout is going to be called by Michael McLean. Sense maybe a little bit of it. Well, this is a worrying sign for the Bahamas. You can see Buddy Hield on the ground. Well, it has indeed been a 3-point showcase. Well, there was the kick out. Samuel Hunter. That one was contested, hand his face. Well, let's go down to the Bahamas bench to find out what Coach McLean has to say to his players.
Why do we come in the game and do it? I don't care if the screen is high. Go over. You want to send them into the paint. They need a drop. That's right, going that's you. Who on top? Now they see the ball. right there. BJ has the ball. Franco, set the pin down for Keno. Keno, you're going to set the ball screen. As you come down, Franco, you exit in the Sammy side. BJ, go downhill to your left. You got somebody else going, right? Hey, we got nothing going to the paint. All of us on 1, 2, 3.
I think defensively, the Bahamas need to get their rotations correct because we've seen, at the moment, Puerto Rico 3 out of 3 from the three-point line. Of course, they're 5 out of 13 from within inside the rainbow, but they're 50% in total from the field. While the Bahamas, not too far off the other night against Jamaica, they're 44% from the three-point line. Cesaril de Jesus currently leading all scorers at 10 points. The Bahamas looking to cut it down to a one-possession ball game. Well, we find BJ Edgecombe. Now looking to ISO against Zion Clavel. Pulls up, mid-range. Puerto Rico doing a magnificent job. No offensive rebounds yet from the Bahamas. Which also concludes no second chance opportunity points. He's got 10 points. Little floater. This guy is cooking early on. Cesaril de Jesus going to 12 points. He hasn't missed a shot. He hasn't missed a free throw. Hunting now. Tries to penetrate. They'll try to find Jerron Burris in the paint. That's going to be another Bahamas turnover. Good crash defense by Zion Clavel. So it's a little bit of frustration at the moment in the Bahamas play. Laurel Nan, associate assistant head coach of the Bahamas, just rallying his players. Can Puerto Rico extend this lead? Well, they force a turnover. And now they force a foul. So that's going to be Puerto Rico's third team foul. And like the Bahamas, they only have one foul to give with 1:58 to go here in the first quarter. Execution has got to be so key for both teams. Final game of window 3. First round of qualifications to the Basketball World Cup are windows 1, 2, and 3, and you have to finish in the top 3 of your group to get to the second round. Well, he turned it over. And that is a very poor mistake, but Ethan Thompson, he'll take advantage. That's his first field goal tonight. 9-point lead to Puerto Rico. Well, left wide open, and that's an easy layup. Well, that time Puerto Rico's defense just got caught napping. Kentuan Smith now goes up to 5 points. And now the Bahamas force another steal. Kennedy going to run. Edgecombe. He's fouled. Puerto Rico, no more fouls to give here in the first quarter. Foul is called on Pinheiro. Right there. Oh, it's Pinheiro. The most experienced player, along with Ismael Romero on this team, and you'd expect him to know where Bowler Man is. Edgecombe inbounds this. Bahamas just trying to take this possession by possession, only down by 7. Edgecombe's made 2 threes, and this guy's going to make a third one. Early cooking show from VJ Edgecombe. Still the game's second leading scorer right behind Cesaril de Jesus. Bahamas now in his zone defense. It's a high 3-2. Pinheiro kicks out. Little pump fake. Clavel pull up. And that finds its way at the bottom of the bucket. I just crept his way in. But that's a long 2-pointer. Still separating these two teams at 6 points. Burris comes up for the high pick. They'll go in the corner. They'll fire another 3. Pinheiro secures the rebound. Puerto Rico not quite with the numbers. Thompson wants to go all the way. Eurostep and bullies his way in transition. Back to an 8-point lead to Puerto Rico. And given the time remaining, that could potentially be a 2-for-1 for Puerto Rico. Edgecombe, he's made 3 threes. One way off, and that's going to be a push in the back. Final team foul for the Bahamas to give away. 19.3, Puerto Rico could indeed extend this to a double-digit lead with the final play of the first quarter. Aubrey had a good look in the corner. Franco Miller Jr. is going to sub out of the game. Thompson's got to try to take time off the clock. They want the final shot. They don't want to give Bahamas a chance to run in transition. High screen coming. Thompson still got it. Step back, pulls up, and sinks the three-pointer. The final shot of the first quarter. And it's an 11-point lead to Puerto Rico. Well, if it stays like this, these two teams would be on the same record. And it would be Puerto Rico who would have won the head-to-head, because the last time they met, it was the Bahamas who won by 5. Well, this is the third window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers. Final game of the first round here in window 3. Live in Nassau, the Bahamas, at Sir Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. Well, we're going to take a look at some of the key stats here from this first quarter. Puerto Rico haven't missed a three-pointer, and they haven't missed a free throw yet. Well, the Bahamas only 4 out of 7 from within inside the rainbow. Let's take a look at the highlights from the first quarter. Well, fans, scan the QR code and access the logins to Courtside 1891, where you can catch all the live streams, extended highlights of FIBA competitions, and much more. Courtside 1891. Scan the QR code and access it now. Well, we do apologize for not seeing the top highlights from the first quarter. This team's now coming back from their benches. It's been a magnificent start so far from Puerto Rico. Well, welcome everybody. Puerto Rico desperately need to get a win to have any chance of getting to the second round. Well, this is a Group B fixture, as mentioned. Canada currently hosting Jamaica. Jamaica also with the same record as the Bahamas at 2-3. Canada currently still undefeated. Well, Canada currently leading 32-15 as a nice rejection by Kai Jones, forcing a turnover. But can the Bahamas get something going? Gotta try to rebuild that identity in her offense. Ryan Clavel defending VJ Edgecombe. They don't want the ball in his hands. Edgecombe's wide open in the corner. Aubrey nowhere to go. Hand up. Another three. And that one's good. We've got to keep building. They're going to have to get more defensive stops, and the benefit of having Kai Jones as a rim protector. Dominic Bridgewater knocking down the three-pointer for the Bahamas. Thompson goes in, and Thompson at the moment is a certified walking bucket for Puerto Rico. 7 points already for Ethan Thompson. 3 out of 4 from the field. Well, they get another look in the corner, another three, and that one rolls its way in and out. Bahamas fight for the offensive board. Still, VJ Edgecombe hasn't touched the ball here in the second quarter. That's the right idea. That time, penetration to the free throw line. They were trying to find Dayton Albury. But that was a zip pass, just a little too quick. Bahamas don't have any area of dominance in this game. Puerto Rico, 14 points in the paint. Only 8 for the Bahamas. Thompson's been well so far. Not going to connect with this one. Well, Edgecombe getting ahead. Edgecombe saves it. One extra pass. Gets to Jones. Doesn't go up with it. He'll go for another three. Now Johnson transition. Just wasted that opportunity as now Toronto will knock one down. And Puerto Rico currently 5 out of 6 from three-point land. They've only missed one. Columbus has been averaging 14.7 points here in the qualifiers. Amazing to think they only have one win. Bridgewater. Well, they'll go for another one. Wolfrey's not going to get it. Unless they find a way to get the ball to Edgecombe, it's going to be a long night for the Bahamas. Thompson made contact, expecting a foul, but nothing was given. As Kai Jones comes up with it. Little hesitation. Nice dime, goes in, a lot of contact, and finishes under intense pressure. Well, who said Kai Jones isn't a point center? Wolfrey gets his first 2 points, but still Puerto Rico lead by 11. And that's going to be, I don't know if they pulled a foul here or if it's an out-of-bounds violation. It was Freeman who had the ball, and it was the tough defense by Edgecombe. Let's have a look. Well, here's the play. That's a good finish by Olbrey. So a break for the Bahamas. You can make it single digits with any field goal on this offense. Got to try to get this home crowd back into it. Getting a handoff of VJ Edgecombe. Edgecombe gets it back. Good separation, little mid-range. An offensive rebound leading into second chance points. And that's Franco Miller Jr. Well, Puerto Rico's seen enough. That's a solid 4-0 run from the Bahamas, so a timeout is going to be called by Puerto Rico. Still leading by 9 points, 6:57 to go here in the second quarter. 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifies. This is saved by Edgecombe, and watch Franco Miller Jr. Well, let's go down to Puerto Rico's bench to find out what the message is going to be. We can quite clearly see the timeout was called immediately off the back of that 4-0 run as Carlos Gonzalez just wanted to have a quick word with his players, and I think what he wanted to address with them. So we don't need to play up and down. We can play our tempo. Let's play quick, but let's play smart. Still leading by 9 points. Still with the advantage. A good drop defense coming for the collapse. And again, the Bahamas nearly forcing a third turnover. And yes, they do. 3 consecutive Puerto Rican turnovers and less. That's going to go back to the Bahamas. Surrounding home crowd. We're not going to like if that decision was overturned. Let's have a look at the replay here. Does this come off of Israel Romero? Yeah, I think it comes off his leg. Romero, excuse me. See Puerto Rico still face guarding VJ Edgecombe. Goes to his left, penetrates. He's going to keep this one alive. He's made 2 threes tonight, and he's going to make another one. VJ Edgecombe, his confidence, it's terrifying. 14 points already, 4th three-pointer here in the first half. Nice play with Denick, good block by Kai Jones. Edgecombe getting ahead, and they're going to lay this one. Dunk it with Kai Jones in transition. Well, that is a monumental, I'd say that is a 9-0 run. And you can see the Puerto Rican coaching staff telling their players, let's calm down, let's relax. I don't think you can, though, with VJ Edgecombe on the other side. And look right there. Did you just see that? Carlos Arroyo is in the building. Man who played in the 2005 NBA Finals with the Detroit Pistons. Well, he's with the national team right behind the bench. Arguably the greatest point guard in the history of Puerto Rico. As he led Puerto Rico to that historic win against the USA, who had LeBron James in 2004 at the Olympics. Let's listen now.
Keep fighting! They play physical! We gotta turn that level up!
It's an inspiring 9-0 run from the Bahamas. 5:57, just over 4 minutes played here in the second quarter. That's 2 timeouts they've had to call in the space of less than 3 minutes. Already, well, I'd say that's just another day at the office for VJ Edgecombe. Now you hear the chants of defense from these fans here live in the SO. Having never gone to a Basketball World Cup. Zion Clavel will pull up for a quick 3. That's just not going to go. Comes up with his own rebound. Still can't get it. But the Bahamas fail to take care of the boards. But you want to see that, though, from Puerto Rico. They, too, have to fight for second chance points. De Jesus will inbound this. Puerto Rico trying to get it as they find Ismael Romero. Takes the handoff, twist, turn, goes to work, and that is a veteran's move by Ismael Romero. And he'll go to the free throw line. It was the go-to option in the first 2 offenses. Hasn't seen many looks ever since, but look at the twist, the turn. Puerto Rico's finest. Currently played last season with Mets de Guaynabo. It was only last summer he was playing for Al Ahly Tripoli at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup, representing the champions of the Basketball Africa League in Singapore. This well-seasoned, well-traveled veteran. It's the first free throw this evening for Romero. Edgecombe's got 14. Pulls up for another 3. Slightly off balance. That time very well defended. I think even if you put VJ Edgecombe into a missed 3-point field goal attempt, that's going to be classified as good defense. I think they're going to call this foul. I'm not quite sure. What's going to remain to the Bahamas, to Puerto Rico, but I thought initially, due to the reaction of Ismael Romero, that was going to be against him. It's on Kai Jones, number 2 for him. Well, Joan Burrows spent over 50% of his professional career playing in France. Arguably their most experienced player. Puerto Rico get it inbound. Bahamas chasing on defense, another 3, and that just lights their offense back into space. 6th three-pointer of the night for Puerto Rico. 15 points for De Jesus. Burrows goes in, And that's a very hard foul. Foul's going to be called on Ismael Romero. Well, Jerron Burris only took 7 free throws coming into this game. But his days of playing for this Bahamas national team goes back to 2007. That's 19 years ago. He played for them at the AmeriCup last summer in Nicaragua, and he even played in that game in Valencia 2 summers ago at the FIBA Olympic qualifying tournament, which, as I said before, the Bahamas were 1 win from getting to the Paris Olympics, only to be defeated. Torres cuts it down to a 7-point deficit. Bahamas look like they maybe in a high 3-2 zone. They played this against Jamaica with Burris at the top. See how Puerto Rico break it down. Oh, they force a turnover. Well, they got Edgecombe with him. Burris goes in. Slam jam time. And that's what they did against Jamaica. Forced turnovers, but quickly converted into fast break points. 13 points in total from transition collectively between these two teams. They force another one. The Burris need someone. They turn it back over. That's usually the bread and butter of this Bahamas national team. Inside the paints. And quickly goes off the bank. Smart play by Enrique Freeman. Now he goes up to 7 points. 3 out of 5 from the field. Edgecombe curls a screen. Help side defenders getting ready to collapse. Burris almost drops it. Finds Edgecombe. This is your moment. Pump fakes. Finds Burris, little teardrop. You got to credit Puerto Rico's defense. Always having one defender ready. As Romero unable to get the ab one. But going back to what I was saying was, so impressed with Puerto Rico. Because now VJ Edgecombe's got 14 points. You've got the primary defender. But then someone, let's have a look here. Burris. Age is just a number with the veteran. I'll go back to my point again. VJ Edgecombe, now that he's got 14 points, always will have a primary defender, which in this case has always been Zion Clavel. But he's going to beat you at some point. And the next 4 players, whoever's closest, they got to come collapse. They got to make him give the ball up. And credit to Puerto Rico, they've done that. Only 1 out of 2 from the free throw line for Ismael Romero. Well, Edgecombe just being held by Zion Clavel. Trying to tighten up defensively. Burris in the paint, gets rejected, and now here comes Puerto Rico. Romero, look out below, pump fakes. Well, Puerto Rico, nobody protesting and asking the question, but it's going to be 2 free throws coming up here for Ismael Romero. Another missed free throw attempt here for Romero. That takes Puerto Rico to 5 out of 8 from the free throw line. Got to be able to step up to the charity stripe and make those free throws. He's had a very good game so far, 7 points. He's so dominant in the early stage. Another one. Michigan gets the outlet very quickly, and here comes the Bahamas. And they'll convert this one so quickly. A great run by Bridgewater. Now gets his second field goal. He had one three-pointer early. Trying to find Romero. Edgecombe comes up with it. Oh, they go for a three. They can cut it down. It's not going to go. Edgecombe finds it. Bridgewater. He's made one. Comes up with his own rebound, but that's going to be a foul against Pinheiro. Let's have a look at the quick outlet, the vision from VJ Edgecombe, the nice dive from Franco Miller Jr. That is transition basketball at its finest from the Bahamas. So the Bahamas are going to call timeout. Only down by 6 points with 2:24 to go here in the second quarter. Let's listen now to Coach McLean. I think you heard in that timeout, the ball is trying to go to one option. That's VJ Edgecombe. But credit to this man. Ezreal de Jesus currently leading all scorers with 15 points. My word, you got to have the same performance in the second half if Puerto Rico are going to try to come away here with a big victory. Got to win by 6 points this evening. We find Kai Jones down the middle. He got away with the travel. Now here comes Franco Miller Jr. Just finds his way inside the lane and gets straight to the bucket. Tough play by Franco Miller Jr. Everybody's got to play a key factor tonight. It's the same zone formation. The Bahamas like to put the center at the top with the top two guards. Another three goes flying. That's not going to count. Edgecombe comes up with another rebound. That's rebound number 4. Down the lane, goes in and finishes inside the towers. And a tough move by Edgecombe. All of a sudden, it's a 2-point ball game. Puerto Rico haven't scored for over 2 minutes. Can Thompson make this three? And you bet he can. Extending it back to 5 points. Bridgewater penetrates, draws a contact, and now he'll go to the free throw line. So free throws coming up for the Bahamas now. So far, they've only taken 2 free throws this evening. Look at this by VJ Edgecombe. Well, he was expecting a foul to go to the free throw line, but right now, Dominic Bridgewater. He had a very good game from the three-point line the other night against Jamaica. Scored 23 points, knocked down 5 triples out of 9 attempts. He's been averaging 18.7 points. Currently plays his pro basketball for Province, second division in France. Pinheiro takes a handout. Straight to the bucket, can't get it, but the tip-in is good. Keeps that separation of 5 points between Puerto Rico and the Bahamas. Could that be a 3 for 2 for Puerto Rico? They're going to have to defend here. Bridgewater bumps, unable to finish. Thompson wants to get ahead quickly. He turns it over, no, they keep it alive. Avoids the block, the follow-up is good, and the 3 for 2 could very well be on the table now for Puerto Rico, as Toro able to convert the second chance points. The foul is on Kentuan Smith. That's why I said these two teams, second chance opportunity points could be a key X factor. So another man playing domestically within Puerto Rico, standing at 202 centimeters. That's roughly 6'7". Plays for Santeros de Aguada. Not a primary scorer for this team, but he converts a three-point play. If Puerto Rico can get a stop here, they'll have a chance at that 3 for 2 when we just had a minute left in the second quarter, excuse me. Miller penetrates, dives for it, he'll go for another three. And here we go. 3 for 2, final play for Puerto Rico. Thompson's been great so far for them here in the second quarter. He's got 12 points. Edgecombe trying to chase him. And there's another foul that will just send Puerto Rico to the free throw line. With 60% from the free throw line tonight, Puerto Rico. Bridgewater just got misplaced. Wrong place, wrong time on the defensive end. Well, Zion Clavel, many will remember his time in the NCAA with Northwest Kansas, but he finished at Colorado State. Very briefly signed with the Dallas Mavericks, but decided to take his career to Europe, where he played in Turkey, Spain, also played in Greece, Ukraine. But most recently, after playing with AEK Athens in Greece, he's now returned to Piratas de Quebradillas. And that is the 3 for 2 for Puerto Rico. Well, they get into Edgecombe. He'll go the length of the floor. Whoa! Nearly got a miracle. Well, there you have it. End of the first half. Puerto Rico lead by 10 against the Bahamas. This is the final game of the first round here in window number 3 of the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. The Bahamas have never been to a Basketball World Cup. Puerto Rico, in 3 windows, have only picked up 1 win, and that was against the Bahamas in window number 2. They must win by 6 tonight to win the head-to-head. Well, both teams are shot relatively well from the three-point line. Puerto Rico over 60%, and they're 52% from within inside the rainbow. They've out-rebounded the Bahamas by 7. Bahamas do have 3 more assists, but also both teams a combined total of 12 turnovers. 2 players for Puerto Rico in double figures, De Jesus and Thompson. Well, no surprise, VJ Edgecombe leading the Bahamas with 16. We'll take a look at the highlights from the first half. Well, here was their experience of Pinheiro. That time getting blocked by Kai Jones. Good defense. The Bahamas wanted to make it rain. They had 19 three-pointers against Jamaica the other night. I think Puerto Rico's decided, hey, we know how to make it rain as well. It was a nice finish by Aubrey. But VJ Edgecombe unable to get the mid-range, but Franco Miller Jr. following him with the tip-in. VJ already knocking down 3 three-pointers. That's 6 the other night against Jamaica. And that was the dime division and the transition two-handed throwdown. Look at the spin move by the veteran, Ismael Romero. Played for the Puerto Rican national team at the most recent Basketball World Cup in the Philippines. We talk about age being a number. Juwan Barras winding back the years. Puerto Rico's defense, it's been solid so far, but look at the outlet vision. Franco Miller Jr., 1 extra pass, but it all began with VJ Edgecombe. That's how quickly this team will convert turnovers. And look at the floor general. And here was VJ Edgecombe bumping in the lane. Felt he should have gone to the free throw line. Well, Toro going in for second chance points, a crucial thing. We'll be back for the second half momentarily.
Let's get this body size. Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown. Goes in for the dunk. Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good. Bogdanovich, who goes in and scores. Ah! This is what it's all about. It's all one big basketball family, folks. Winning time. Both teams over the limit. You have got to be kidding me! Georges Alexander, little hezzy. Steps back, short corner to the other side as he falls out of bounds. He gets it to go. Living up to the hype early here.
Baseline drive, oh nice play, and the finish! And Joaquin Rodriguez loves that play, and so does everybody, pretty much everybody here.
There's a lob and another thunderous alley-oop. Lindo, what a start to the game for him.
Bahamas defense just coming to the players now. Here we go again, and one more time. Are you kidding me? Third pick in the first round of the NBA draft, and it is indeed the 76er himself, VJ Edgecombe. His head coach not giving up at the moment. Coach Richard Dunn, another alley-oop, and one more time, KJ, straight off the bench in fresh bunnies.
Guarded by James. Feliz around James. Feliz inside. Bingo! Joel Soriano. United States up by 2. Near side, into the corner. Craig for the lead. An incredible shot hit there by Torrey Craig in the corner, giving the United States a 1-point lead.
Penetrate, kick, Campazzo, extra pass. Nice crossover, and always moving without the ball, Brasino. Good defense from Roque, getting right in the passing lane. Angola! Oh my goodness, he has just taken off and crushed a right-hand dunk, and he loves it. Can they get a good look? Can they space the floor? Herrera to win it. He's made the shot, this is unreal! Chile just doing amazing things here down the stretch. They were gone. It looked as though their World Cup dreams were in tatters.
How many times are we going to say this? Baseline, are you kidding me?
Papa Nicolau says, give it to me.
Go attack to close out, beat Bruno inside.
Fills it up.
Welcome back, everybody, live here in the Bahamas for this big game in the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers, where currently it is indeed a slender lead to Puerto Rico, where they've extended it back to a 10-point cushion. We've seen two comebacks so far, but Hezriel De Jesus so far leading the way here for Puerto Rico. Well, he's been simply outstanding. 15 points, 5 out of 8 from the field, converting 3 3-pointers out of 4 attempts. Truly leading the way for this team. Well, the expectations, the bar is so high whenever you play for the Puerto Rican national team. Well, you want to guess who's leading the way for the Bahamas? Simple. VJ Edgecombe. Had his rookie season playing in the NBA for the Philadelphia 76ers, but so far in this window, well, he's been great. Why I say you're never ever going to stop VJ Edgecombe. The only best thing you can hope for is you can try to contain him. I think Puerto Rico defensively, they did a much better job collectively of making him give up the rock whenever he tried to attack the basket. Well, VJ currently 50% from the three-point line. He's 4 out of 8. They're going to need a little bit more from VJ if they're going to come up with a big victory and get to the next round. A win tonight for the Bahamas would all but ensure them, Jamaica, and Canada go through. Well, Franco Miller Jr. has also put in some very good numbers. 6 points, 3 assists, and 5 rebounds. Well, 3 rebounds and 5 assists, my corrections. When you look at this group, I mean, there's a lot of joy and excitement because it was the first time we were seeing Jamaica in any form of FIBA qualification, whether that's for the America Cup, and in this case, the FIBA Basketball World Cup, and they came out proving a big point. This Jamaica's first 2 games of the World Cup qualifiers were against Puerto Rico, and they won both of them. They won the opening one at home, and then they went on the road and defeated Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's only victory has come against the Bahamas. That was in window 2 after losing at home by 11 points to Canada. Miller leading the assists. Kentuan Jones leading the rebound count at the moment here for the Bahamas. But they're down by 10. Now, Puerto Rico, having beaten the Bahamas, I said 6 points. It was actually 5. They can win by 6 points or more. Well, that's going to give them the head-to-head. Look at that, VJ Edgecombe. Maybe, I would say probably, maybe, you never know, on par to get a triple-double tonight. But unless Puerto Rico can hang on to this lead, De Jesus leading the scoring, Thompson currently leading the assists. Now he's also put up some good numbers, and Enrique Freeman currently leading the rebound count here for Puerto Rico. It's only 10 points that separate these two teams. See the numbers there from Hezriel De Jesus. Looking at the standings coming into this final game, it's Group B. Canada were undefeated, 5-0. Given how the matchup's going on between them and Jamaica currently, that's being played in Canada as we speak. I'll give you an update on the score. It's currently 57-40 in favor of Canada as they head into the second half. So if Canada goes 6-0, that's going to leave Jamaica with a record of 2-4. So if Puerto Rico win this, well, the permutations could be very interesting because that could see both them and the Bahamas go through. Since the Bahamas have indeed won the head-to-head against Jamaica. But stranger things have definitely happened here in international basketball. Remember, this is the 3rd window of the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. And in the first 3 windows, it's the first round. You've got to finish in the top 3 if you want to get to round 2 for windows 4, 5, and 6. A lot of fans rocking into the building. It's the Bahamas. Although they nearly qualified for the Olympics in Paris in 2024, they have never qualified for a Basketball World Cup. Last summer, they got all the way to the FIBA America Cup. But they want to go a step higher, the highest level of international basketball, the Basketball World Cup. Well, if they do qualify, they'll be in the summer 2027, hosted in Doha, Qatar. And as we've already said with Puerto Rico, well, there's an expectation The bar is always set high. And we've even seen that Carlos Arroyo, former Puerto Rican NBA player and national team player, is in the building. He's sitting behind the bench of the Puerto Rican national team. Well, there he is. Case in point, Carlos Arroyo played in the 2005 NBA Finals with the Detroit Pistons, only to lose to the San Antonio Spurs. But it was in the 2004 Olympics when he led Puerto Rico to that historic victory against the United States and Greece. That USA team, well, they may have had a young LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Carmelo Anthony, but they also had Tim Duncan. And they definitely also had one Allen Iverson. It's a memory in his career that many Puerto Rican basketball fans still to this day and probably for years to come will talk about. One of the greatest upsets in the history of international basketball. Oh, just under 2 minutes away from returning to play. Well, a couple of legends in the building tonight. Brotherly love coming to support their VJ Edgecombe. So now the players do head to their benches. Just try to get some final words of instructions. It's been a great atmosphere so far here this evening. A lively crowd here in the SO of the Bahamas at the Sir Kendall Isaacs Gymnasium. And those Bahamas fans, I think they're checking up on the updates to see how that game is going between Canada and Jamaica. Coach Gonzalez just trying to get some final words in with his team. Can they see off the Bahamas? More importantly, can they win the head-to-head? That is going to be the crucial thing for them. Well, scan that QR code and download the official FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifying app. You can download the app on your smartphone, your tablet, or your Android. Customize your experience. Follow all your favorite teams and players right up until Doha 2027 for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Franco Miller Jr., Albury, VJ Edgecombe all coming back into starting line. Now, we haven't seen Buddy Hield since the first quarter. Now, he went down. I don't think it was an impact injury. I think it was either a cramp or a strain or something, but Samuel Hunter will be the starting power forward alongside Kai Jones as the natural center. For Puerto Rico, just having a look at their lineup, who they're bringing back out, see if there's any changes to the starting five. So it looks like a very much unchanged starting five. Welcome back. Second half about to get underway. The Bahamas down by 10. Well, they want to get something going. Try to get this crowd into the game early. Miller, twist turn, goes for a fadeaway, and that's one way to get them in. Now has 8 points. Number 5 assists, 3 rebounds for Franco Miller Jr. Puerto Rico's just got to keep trying to find a way to put points on the board. Romero goes in and count it. He'll go to the free throw line. That's too easy. Guy Jones has got to deny that paid entry, try to fight around the screen, but you know, when Romero backs into you, back to the basket, you got to bump it. Well, there was the take by Franco Miller. Now it's Romero. If he converts his free throw, become the third Puerto Rican player into double figures. If you ever get a chance, look up Ismael Romero's biography. It's a very fascinating life story he has. And how he ended up where he is today as a professional basketball player. 9-2 run currently here to Puerto Rico. Edgecombe caught in a double team. That's another Bahamas turnover. Puerto Rico very happy to slow this one down. Denisu still leading them with 15 points. For them, it's about going for the right shot, not to rush anything. They'll be happy to find it to Romero in the paint. Time dwindling down. We try to dish off to Pinheiro, but I think Pinheiro made that congested. Bahamas try to go in transition, but the tip-in is good in the end by Olbury. And what did we say? Second chance points. Such a big X factor between Puerto Rico and the Bahamas. That's only 4 tonight hit from the Bahamas, and that is surely a tough three-pointer. Well, Thompson took that one. Too much pressure, but no problem for Thompson. Now joint leading scorer with De Jesus. Miller coming off one screen. Got it by Romero. Little shift and shake crossing. Little ISO. That's a little too short. Now it didn't touch the rim. Edgkin's made 4 threes. And make it 5. Another one. DJ now moving up to 17 points. Well, 19, excuse me. My correction. Puerto Rico go for another 3. That's not going to count. It's going to be a jump ball. Thompson just getting locked up that time with Olbury. Both players understanding the magnitude of this game. So we see how things are doing in Canada. Canada currently leading almost halfway through the third quarter, 70-46. That other fixture in Group B, well, the way it's looking for Jamaica, it looks like they could finish with a record of 2-4. Here's the three-pointer. 76ers. Eight-point lead. Thompson's got to pass it. Quickly finds De Jesus and now goes up and extends it back to a 10-point lead here for Puerto Rico. PJ's got 19. It's going to be a foul on the ground. It's going to be the first personal foul committed by either team here in the third quarter. Well, Jamaica seeing that nearly becoming a 30-point deficit as they play currently in Hamilton against Canada. It's going to be 2 monumental defeats by heavy deficits, and that's only going to hurt their points difference, which could favor both teams, but Bahamas will definitely, Puerto Rico will need to win this one. Miller, pump fake, step through, and now he's got 10. He could get triple-double numbers tonight, Franco Miller Jr. Pinheiro getting that handout from Romero. De Jesus. Can he keep finding ways to score? Oh, nice dime finds Ismael Romero, and he'll finish this one. Romero now becoming the third Puerto Rican player in double figures with 11 points. And the Bahamas make a clumsy offense as they'll turn it over, and they'll give this back to Puerto Rico. Oh, look at the dime by Jezreel De Jesus. That's a sweet, sublime primetime dime. Still 10 points separating both Puerto Rico and Bahamas. Pinheiro wants a seal-off. Has a size advantage. Little elevation. Mid-range. Taps in and out. Can't get it. Rebound picked up by Franco Miller. Miller penetrates into traffic, but in the end, he turns it over. Pinheiro. De Jesus thought about it. Thompson fumbles it. Wow, it's a reach from behind, but it falls into the hands of Ismael Romero. And 6:05 to go here in the third quarter. The Bahamas are going to call timeout. That lead has gone back to 12. Well, we're going to head down to the Bahamas bench, but Franco Miller Jr. reached from behind, but that inadvertently found its way to Ismael Romero. Let's listen now.
Take one dribble, throw right back to BJ. BJ has it. He's throwing it to
Well, still a very strong performance tonight from VJ Edgecombe. But can he find enough to get himself back in this one? 19 points, 4 steals, 5 rebounds. Wait, looking at both him and Franco Miller Jr. Could very well get to a double-double tonight. Miller's got 4 rebounds, 5 assists. Currently not on the floor. Edgecombe being chased by Thompson. Time is winding down for VJ. Has 2 players on him. Well, had to put up a prayer. That's not going to go. And now Puerto Rico come up with it again. Well, VJ Edgecombe taking Ismael Romero to the ground. And that was an entanglement between 2 big players. But no reaction there from either player. Young VJ Edgecombe. Well, I don't think Ismael Romero appreciated, that's for sure. I think he was quite frustrated, but... And now it's going to be an offensive foul here against Puerto Rico. And who have they called this one on? Or was it on Romero? Well, I think Romero and VJ Edgecombe just exchanging some words to each other. Can the Bahamas find ways to score? Down by 12. And they'll go for a deep 3. That one's way off the mark. As Pinheiro quite happy to see that one go out of bounds. Well, De Jesus just having to deal with the pressure. Can Puerto Rico extend their 12-point lead? Pinheiro finds a bit of separation, mid-range, and that's automatic. And now it's a 14-point cushion to Puerto Rico. Edgecombe wants to go quick. Finds Franco Miller Jr. Nothing dropping. And another foul committed. That's going to be on Kai Jones. I think it's frustration now here from the Bahamas. Kai Jones picks up his 3rd foul. Bahamas going into his zone defense. That same 3, high 3-2 zone. Little kick out. Thompson's been on fire so far, and that's way off the mark. Edgecombe comes up with his 6th board. Now wants to go quick. And it's going to be an offensive foul on VJ Edgecombe. Well, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate indeed. Let's have a look here. Yeah, that's a good call. You can just see Ethan Thomas just patiently waiting for Edgecombe to go into him. Still a young kid, but you know what? He's such a mature player. We saw that in Valencia in the summer of 2024. But can the Bahamas build something? They've got to rely on the defense. Staying in this high 3-2 zone. Thompson penetrates. Kicks out De Jesus. He's been on fire. Well, they're going to call a foul. So Hezriel De Jesus will go to the free throw line. And he's going to get 3 free shots. Let's have a look at the replay. Yeah, a lot of contact you could see. And the Bahamas at the moment, right now they've got to be cool, calm, and collected. Cooler heads need to prevail at this stage. This is good for Puerto Rico, though. De Jesus still wants to become joint leading scorer if he can make all 3 of the... Well, I thought it was 3 free throws, but I think he quite clearly had his foot in the line. Biggest lead of the game now for Puerto Rico. 16-point advantage. Well, they find Juwan Boris. This goes around the middle, but he misses from point-blank range. Oh, that's tough. Got to finish those ones. Yeah, Seuss getting his pocket picked. Edgecombe comes up with his 5th steal. And he's fouled in transition. So VJ Edgecombe, 19 points, 6 rebounds, and now 5 steals. There's a triple-double potential tonight for VJ Edgecombe. We've only seen 1 triple-double in this window, and that was from Mario Hezonja for Croatia against Cyprus only a few nights ago. Dario Saric, his teammate, almost got one today. But we want to see it in the Americas. Bahamas building something. Edgecombe was wide open. Burris doesn't get it to him. They get a look inside the paint. It just won't go. And Pinheiro comes up with it. Isaiah wants to go this down in the paint. Wants to go for a tough contested fadeaway. That's good defense. Burris comes up with a rebound. He wants to find VJ Edgecombe. Miller had a look at 3. They go for 3 in the corner. This one's beautifully tucked away. Well, Dominic Bridgewater had 5 threes against Jamaica. Now he has 10 tonight. Second 3 for him, cutting it down to 13. Bahamas no fouls to give. They don't want to send Puerto Rico to the free throw line. Seuss coming off one screen. Finds Pinheiro. He doesn't take many threes, but when he does, he makes it count. That's huge. A big three-pointer by Isaiah Pinheiro. That is number 8 for Puerto Rico. 57% from the three-point line. Little pump fake. A little bit of separation and back-to-back. Both teams exchanging three-point field goals. The game just clicking into gear here in the third quarter with now just over 2 minutes. Seuss, 19 points. Let's go for a back down. This is good defense. Saves it from going out of bounds. Zion Clavel's got to take something. Oh, you knew that was coming. This is the part of VJ Edgecombe where he's got to understand adapting the style of defense. He's got to calm down now. Oh, he's picked up a technical. He's picked up a technical foul. Oh, he's just got to chill. Got to calm. They need him so badly. He's going to have to go to the bench. Now I'm trying to figure out if the personal foul was his 4th or if the technical was his 4th. Still have him down for only 4 fouls. Oh no, he's out of it. So the technical foul is his 5th free throw. So he's got to leave. VJ Edgecombe infuriated. Jawan Burris trying to keep him away, and I think another technical is going to be called. And that is a monumental loss to the Bahamas. Big numbers tonight for VJ Edgecombe. He was 50% from the field, 7 out of 14. 5 out of 10 from the three-point line. He had 6 rebounds, 5 steals. But his night is done. Well, Tyrese Maxey is thinking, I don't know what's going on here. I think 2 technical foul free throw shots are going to be taken here for Puerto Rico. Alfonso Plummer at the free throw line just gets that one to roll in. And for Puerto Rico, this is exactly what they wanted. The Bahamas star player is gone. Makes them both. 15-point advantage now to Puerto Rico. 2:06 to go here in the third. And now it's going to be the free throws for the personal foul. So it's Zion Clavel at the charity stripe. So a 4-point play here for Puerto Rico. And unfortunately for the Bahamas, they also lose VJ Edgecombe in the process. Well, if he makes his free throw, it will be the biggest lead of the game for Puerto Rico. Makes them both. Bahamas have a mountain to climb now. Star player missing. They've missed 2 players. Remember, Buddy Hield went down with an injury. Franco Miller Jr., his time to step up. Goes in, attacks, and now he'll go to the free throw line. Remember, Franco Miller Jr., 10 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists this evening here for the Bahamas. And just keep getting into the lane. That is what he's best at. It's Puerto Rico getting ready to sub back into De Jesus. Kentuan Smith also getting ready to check back in for the Bahamas. And Samuel Hunter, for that matter, too. Well, the young man born in the Bahamas played his high school basketball in Canada. This really became a big-time sensation and drew the attention of a lot of top NCAA programs. There was actually one tournament he played in 2018 in Cholet, France, where he also drew a lot of attention from a lot of pro clubs, but ultimately elected to go to the NCAA. Bahamas haven't missed a free throw tonight. Still they're down by 15. Well, it's going to be a turnover. Zion Clavel just stepping out of bounds. Well, this is good for the Bahamas. So with 1:40 left, can they cut it down to single digits? Not over. Still have a very talented team to try and bend their way back in this. Well, this is interesting now for the Bahamas. So they're going to play Franco Miller Jr. off guard. Gets his hand off. Another kick out. Franco comes off one screen. Gets rid of it. Someone's got to make something happen. A lot of contact, and a foul is going to be given, I think. Well, a circus shot attempt by Dominic Bridgewater could very well become a lifeline for them here in the third quarter. That's the old saying, if you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle. And could it be a prospect of I have no idea what's happened here. Something has happened in the arena. Well, fans, I'll try to keep you updated, but I have no idea what's happened here. Well, 1:24 to go here in the third quarter. Everybody's stunned into silence, but something quite serious, I think, has just occurred. Well, I'll try to keep you updated. We do apologize and we thank you for your patience, but the entire arena right now has gone into silence at the moment. The officials now by the scores table. Well, here's where things are transcended. I think the officials were just trying to find out if indeed, going back to the play here, was his foot on the line. That's what they're looking at the officiating table. I don't think they're going to see a very definitive answer from that angle, though. Well, we do apologize for the pause in the game at the moment, but I'm not quite sure what has happened. So, like I said, I will try to keep you updated with what's happened. Fans here in the Bahamas just trying to rally together. Still 1:24 to go here. Puerto Rico lead by 15 points. The Puerto Rican coaching staff just talking with the referees and judging by their demeanor at the moment. Security just try to get the crowd away from the court. I think the health and safety of everybody at the arena is the #1 priority, so we'll try to keep you updated with what is going on at the moment. Well, we're going to take a look at some of the best plays here from the third quarter, and we'll return very shortly. Well, looks like we're ready to get things back underway. Like I said, when we have news of what actually has taken place, we'll try to keep you updated, but the free throw has been missed. The three-point shooting continues to fire in from Puerto Rico. And that's one good response. They go back up by 17. And now it's just a minute to go here in the third quarter. Now they try to build something. A step-back three. It's just not going to drop at the moment. Big margin at the moment here for Puerto Rico. Time winding down the shot clock. There's a penetration. Avoids the block. Another offensive board. 10 seconds difference between game and shot clock. But Plummer loses it. Puerto Rico loses it again. Numbers now off the bank, and oh my goodness gracious. Well, we have been waiting for Kai Jones at some point. And a nice dime off the glass. Zion pulls up and silences his home crowd. And what a way to end the third quarter. An 18-point lead to Puerto Rico. A must-win game for them to ensure they have a chance of getting to the second round. But look at this. KJ, we have been waiting for you, young man. Kai Jones just showing the bunnies. Look at this. That was the first three by Plummer in the last few minutes. And then it was Zion Clavel with the last tray ball. Well, 18 points of separation. VJ Edgecombe fouling out of this game. But remember, given Canada winning heavily, it could be a three-way tie between Jamaica, the Bahamas, and Puerto Rico. And a total of 21 three-pointers have been converted tonight, but more attempts from the free throw line. 4 more field goals from within inside the rainbow for Puerto Rico. Let's look at the highlights from the third quarter. Well, Puerto Rico have been magnificent. And at the moment, the Bahamas need Franco Miller Jr. and Kai Jones to step up big time. And what an individual performance from this man. Ethan Thomas, 15 points. And unfortunately, the technical foul that was the 5th one for VJ Edgecombe. Nice little step through that time by Franco Miller Jr., 12 points. 4 rebounds, 6 assists. Could he finish with a triple-double tonight? Unfortunately, Franco Miller trying to pick the pocket of Thompson, but that actually inadvertently landed in the hands of Ismael Romero. That was the 6th assist of the night from Franco Miller Jr., finding Dominic Bridgewater wide open. Until one Isaiah Pinheiro stepped up, and then Bridgewater went for another one. And it became a 3-point cookout here in the third. Plummer, and the final one coming from Zion Clavel. But here was the off-the-glass Lob City to Kai Jones. And there it was, the final bucket, the final 3. Welcome back. We are live here in Nassau of the Bahamas. Third and final window of the first round. And scan that QR code to access the login to Courtside 1891, where you can watch live streams, extended highlights of FIBA competitions, and much more. Courtside 1891. Scan that QR code today. If the Bahamas are going to make a comeback, they've got to do it now. It's as simple as that. Franco Miller Jr. Cross-court pass. It's a good look from the perimeter. Kai Jones, tough fadeaway. That's not going to go. And Puerto Rico come up with it. Puerto Rico patiently passing around. Finds Toro in the paint. Trying to come up with his own rebound. Now Bridgewater wants to run. Well, Bridgewater had options. They've got to put it in the hands of Franco Miller Jr. Keep running these high ball screens. Coming off another one. Pulls up for a 3. He's got 12 points. Now he's got 15. It's your moment, Franco. It's your moment. And he cuts it down to a 15-point deficit. First 3-pointer tonight for Franco Miller Jr. Puerto Rico have seconds winding down. They'll pull up for another deep tray ball, and that is the 12th three-pointer for Puerto Rico. Incredible. When one team makes a triple, the other one quickly responds. Bahamas have 11. Puerto Rico have 12. Franco Miller, and that is Lob City, finding KJ on the lob. Oh, that is tropical. Lob City. Beautiful finish. And you knew it was coming. 7 assists tonight for Franco Miller Jr. Well, Franco Miller currently 3 assists and 6 rebounds away from a triple-double. Look at the lob hit. Look at the dime. Look at the hang time by KJ. Some substitutions being made by Puerto Rico. Then they have a 16-point margin. That's quite a big lead to hang on to. Ismael Romero trying to give this one up. Piñeiro's got to be a pressure reliever. Romero Sila goes in. And it's another and one for the Chief, as he now moves up to 15 points. He puts Puerto Rico back up by 18. 7 out of 11 from the field tonight for the Puerto Rican legend. I mean, that's high IQ veteran move. Cements position. As soon as he gets it, he only thinks one thing: quickly go up with it and try to get a foul. But he gets an M1. And this time he converts the three-point play. Over 2 minutes played here in the fourth and final quarter. Our Puerto Rico about to do the double on the Bahamas and give themselves a chance of maybe getting to the next round. That's another nice penetration. It's going to be an automatic trip to the free throw line here for the Bahamas. They've only missed one free throw this evening. And that foul is going to be on Ismael Romero. It's a tough as nails penetration by Dominic Bridgewater. He's only returned to Fos-sur-Mer last season. Now he started with them because he's a youngster through the U21 program. He signed professionally with them back in 2020. He also played for Avignon. And 2 seasons ago, he was playing for Champagne Basket. He's always played his pro career within France. He converts both free throws. Bahamas have 2 fouls to give. They don't want to waste those too early. That's going to be a kickball violation. Fresh 14 on the shot clock now for Puerto Rico. And this is where the experience will come into play from Puerto Rico. They're not going to rush in the offense. They are going to simply take their time and try to wear down the Bahamas here in the fourth. Zion Clavel. It's a bit of a shot to the face. He's hit some big shots tonight. Plummer finds separation. Mid-range. And nobody is missing tonight for Puerto Rico. 33 out of 56 from the field. A very impressive 59%. Bahamas got to make this one. Plummer comes up with the board. And you sense it now. Puerto Rico, who have struggled immensely in the window. Thompson wide open. They'll try to shave as much time off the shot clock as possible. Thompson. He's out of cooker tonight. Not going to get this one. Bahamas come over with a rebound. Oh, they get the pocket pick. Good defense. They've got Romero with him, but Zion Clavel gets rejected. A huge block. Well, the camera's got to keep up. A 3 in transition just won't go. And Thompson comes up with a rebound. Isaiah Piñeiro, excuse me. And that was a huge defensive recovery from the Bahamas, but unable to convert down the other end. Piñeiro bumps, fades away in the paint. And now both teams going through a barren spell here. But a foul is going to be called on the ground against Zion Clavel. Zion Clavel try to stop the automatic transition. Well, timeout's going to be called. Both teams want to talk it over. 6:07 to go here in the fourth quarter. Puerto Rico trying to hang on for their second victory of the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Well, an update in the game in Hamilton, Canada. In this Group B, Canada, with under 2.5 to go in the fourth quarter, lead 106-70. So I think you can all count that Jamaica, the fourth team in this group, are going to indeed finish with a record of 2-4. So could it very well be Bahamas, Jamaica, and Puerto Rico all at 2-4. Jamaica do have the head-to-head against Puerto Rico. The points difference is really going to come into factor. Well, Jamaica coming into this game were plus minus. Well, they were minus 61. I think after the big loss to Canada, it's only going to make that even bigger. So I think Puerto Rico could indeed have the advantage if they win this. The good thing for the Bahamas, though, that huge victory that they had against Jamaica, that improved their plus-minus status. Three teams tied at 2-4, unless the Bahamas can make a miracle. Franco Miller, and another three-pointer. That's his second one of the game. 18 points for Franco Miller Jr. Not over yet. 16-point ball game. Plummer goes back to Romero. Romero bumps. Thompson's had a good game so far. Not going to get this one. The Bahamas can go quickly. Goes the length of the floor, gets fouled. And everybody preventing the potential and one. Ethan Thompson, Isaiah Pinheiro. Nobody wanted to take their chances. It's going to be two free throws yet again coming up here for the Bahamas. Well, solid performance so far from Zion Clavel. I'd say defensively, well, I think he did his duty as best as anybody could have done against VJ Edgecombe. 9 points tonight for Zion Clavel. Dominic Bridgewater making the first free throw. 17 for him tonight. He'll become joint second leading scorer if he makes this one alongside Franco Miller Jr. Both players of 18 points. And it looks like Puerto Rico are going to call timeout. Big moments. Back to a 14-point deficit. Bahamas converted 17 points from the 12 Puerto Rican turnovers. While Puerto Rico, they converted 11. But they find themselves ahead. Operation Hang On. Puerto Rico 10 offensive rebounds, 11 second chance opportunity points. Got to be wondering what is being said in this timeout from both Coach McLean and Coach Gonzalez of Puerto Rico. Like I said, Canada, well, they pick up a very big victory indeed. Well, Franco Miller Jr. really has stepped up big time here since the departure of VJ Edgecombe, and what an atmosphere we've had tonight. It was incredible the other night when the Bahamas won by 49 against Jamaica. 19 three-pointers converted that evening. Bit of full court pressure now coming from the Bahamas. Puerto Rico nearly turned it over. No, it's going to stay in their possession. Pinheiro nearly getting his pocket picked. They just got to hang on. Simple as that. You can see patiently, Puerto Rico will take their time. Romero comes up for the high screen. Now gets it back, goes in, and he finishes, takes the bump. 18 tonight from Ismael Romero. The Bahamas fail to capitalize. Romero comes up with a board. Make that rebound number 4. And he'll go coast to coast. It's him again. El Muchacho, El Grande, Ismael Romero. Franco Miller's made 2 threes here in the fourth. He'll make a third one. And he now becomes the Bahamas' leading scorer with 21 points. 3 assists, 5 rebounds away from a triple-double. Franco Miller Jr. And good defense. Well, could it be an unsportsmanlike? The Bahamas asking the question. Bridgewater quickly took that one in transition now. Do the officials want to go for a review? Well, they're discussing now indeed if this needs to be upgraded. Yep. They're going to have a review to see if this needs to be upgraded. So the players will go to the benches, while our 2 referees will have a look at the monitor to see if this substantiates an upgrade for an unsportsmanlike foul, which if it does, it means the Bahamas will get 2 free throws and they'll get possession back again. We'll see very soon if we can also get a look at the replay. See right here, watch Dominic Bridgewater. We can't see it in that fast pace of the moments. It looks like it was on Isaiah Pinheiro. I don't think we'll get an outcome from that replay as we just saw, but for sure the referees are going to have another one. I mean, they have to. But if it's inconclusive, the decision will have to stay at the original call. This is an official review, not a head coach's challenge. Let's see if we can get a better angle from here. Well, it's not an open runway. Is it going to be determined as a genuine defensive attempt by Isaiah Pinheiro? That's the question. That's the important underlying question right now. Canada's big thumping win against Jamaica all makes it seem that if the result stays the way it is, well, it's going to be a 3-way tie between those teams. And then it comes down to points difference. Let's see if we can see from here, actually. Let's have a look at this. Opposite baseline angle. Well, Thompson made the pass. Good hands on defense. So reach from the side. That's a better angle, more definitive view, I think. You know, it's a tricky one because the officials just don't have a great view on it, as they've had to go from the opposite baseline review. But they made a choice. Yep. Unsportsmanlike foul. So Dominic Bridgewater, who's 7 out of 8 from the free throw line, will get 2 free throws, and the Bahamas will get it back. makes the first one. We can try to cut it down to 13 points if he makes his second free throw. It's going to be a huge turnaround. Makes them both. 20 points tonight for Dominic Bridgewater. Well, Pinheiro starting to wish he hadn't made that foul. Well, they try to go for the alley-oop. That's well defended by Ismael Romero. And here comes Puerto Rico. They'll go quickly. Toro goes in, and he's fouled from behind. So now he'll go to the free throw line. And it's actually Enrique Freeman. Freeman, 7 points this evening. Hasn't gone to the free throw line yet. Enrique Freeman, currently of the Minnesota Timberwolves. 26 years of age, standing 206 centimeters. In addition to this Puerto Rican national team. He was drafted by the Indiana Pacers in the 2024 second round draft. Spent last season playing in the G League with the Iowa Wolves. Well, Bridgewater puts up a private three. That's not going to go on a big offensive rebound. And there's a penetration. Sweet little finger roll down the middle. And they come up with a steal. For the Bahamas. They'll go for another three in the corner. Not going to go. Colombia just do enough to, or excuse me, Puerto Rico just do enough to now secure the rebound. Now you can hear the chants of defense. You can just feel the camera rattling here in this arena. What an electrifying atmosphere here in the SOA of the Bahamas. Little step back three, high arc. Are you kidding me? And buenas noches. A huge three-pointer coming from that man again, Jezreel De Jesus. The foul has been committed. So free throws coming up for Kai Jones. Kai Jones, only 2 field goals, which we've only seen so far here in the first half. Look at the high arcing negative parabola. 22 points tonight for De Jesus. That's his 4th three-pointer. Jones now misses the second free throw of the game for the Bahamas. They're 13 out of 15. Still they trail by 16 with 3:24 left. Second one good. A lot of pressure coming from the Bahamas. They've got 1 foul to give. Well, if they get a stop here, you got to think they've got to ensure they go for some high looks in the perimeter. Time isn't on their side. But Puerto Rico, they'll take their time. De Jesus in the lane. Unable to finish. Now the rebound's collected. Somebody's got to be an outlet here for Kai Jones. Oh, good save by Franco Miller Jr. Jones hangs in the end. That's not going to do anything. That should have gone back to Franco Miller Jr. and it should have been a quick ball screen. Thompson. Finding Ismael Romero. After Romero, twist, tumbles, goes in. And that's not the case the Bahamas want because they use their final foul. But it will send Ismael Romero to the free throw line. But it may not be a bad foul. Although he's 9 out of 13 from the field, he's only 2 out of 7 from the free throw line, Romero. We can try to put it back to a 17-point ball game. 20 points this evening. And he missed another one. Second leading scorer for Puerto Rico, right behind Jezreel De Jesus, who does have 22. But if it's anything that's given this, well, would-be victory to Puerto Rico, it's the 13 three-pointers they've made. .16-point advantage. Puerto Rico have only missed 6 free throws. Bridgewater pulls up for another one. And that just won't go. 6th rebound tonight for Romero. Well, Puerto Rico opening the first window with those 2 shock defeats against Jamaica. First one on the road, the second one at home. But it was in window 2, that big win against the Bahamas. Plummer 3, make it 14 3-pointers. And muchos gracias. A big time 3 by Alfonso Plummer. Incredible. Simply incredible. Well, the Bahamas will look to go quick, but in the end, they'll turn it back over again. And that is now the 12th turnover of the game. 21-point advantage. Puerto Rico on the verge of making the comeback again to get into round 2. There's the baseline. Here we go, the reverse layup and the putback dunk by the Minnesota Timberwolves man, Enrique Freeman. Well, he was last season in the G League with the Iowa Wolves. But I think job may be just about to be done here for Puerto Rico. Well, the Timberwolf just went and threw it down. Well, Coach Gonzalez, I think he can just take a deep breath now and maybe enjoy the rest of the summer until we come to window 4, because, well, I say that, still have to know what the permutations are, because we're going to now potentially have 3 teams, Jamaica, Bahamas, Puerto Rico, all on 2 and 4. Not exactly the outcome that all 3 of them wanted. Well, a big moment coming now. This is taking the paint, and a nice finish by Thompson, extending it now to 110 points to Puerto Rico. Thompson's been terrific tonight. 17 points, 7 out of 13 from the field. Franco Miller Jr. goes for another 3. And an individual performance of greatness from Franco Miller Jr. It just hasn't been near enough. Well, Puerto Rico have got to keep scoring. Look at the scoring tonight. It's been high scoring between these 2 teams. It's been great basketball. Both teams have knocked down 14 3-pointers. Can they make it 15? Freeman nearly did that. Well, they'll go for another one. Plummer! 15 3-pointers. And Alfonso Plummer. That's the icing on the cake for Puerto Rico. Well, they're going to win the game, and they're going to win the 3-point battle. Juwan Burroughs tries mid-range, but it's all a consolation. Well, there you have it, fans. Puerto Rico, Plummer again. I'll go for the putback. Points difference matters. You're fighting in a 3-way tie. So points difference matters. You got to keep scoring. Well, they don't get it off in time. And there you have it. Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and indeed the Bahamas will finish Group B, all tied on the same record. Incredible scenes tonight from Puerto Rico. A must-win game for them. They were at the last FIBA Basketball World Cup in Manila, Philippines in 2023. And not once, but twice, they have defeated the Bahamas here in the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. 15 3-pointers, 62% from Puerto Rico. I think that should be a percentage that gets any team over the final hurdle. Puerto Rico out-rebounding the Bahamas 43-30. Well, the Bahamas did have 4 assists more. 26 turnovers in total between these 2 teams. And Franco Miller Jr., 2 assists away from a double-double, finishing with 24 points, leading all scorers this evening. Incredible job by Puerto Rico. I think the Puerto Rican players know exactly just how big this means for them. A huge win for Puerto Rico. Well, they came very close. Unfortunately, had to meet Serbia in the crossover at the last Basketball World Cup at the Araneta Coliseum in Quezon City, Manila. But this just gives them a little bit of hope, a little bit of life as they rejuvenate their chances to try and get back and qualify for Doha 2027 for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Well, we'll take a look at some of the key highlights. Franco Miller Jr., I'm telling you, this young man just reaches new heights in his game year after year when he plays for the Bahamas national team. An incredible, outstanding performance from him. Well, Franco did finish with 24 points, 9 out of 16 from the field, but Ismael Romero, I mean, he ages like fine wine. 21 points to the big man. And Alfonso Plummer hitting some huge three-pointers. He was 5 out of 6 from the perimeter. It was Franco quickly dribbling into a pull-up three-pointer. And again, it was Romero. Too big, too strong, and simply unstoppable. Well, I don't think he's ever going to retire. Another three in the corner. And that was Bridgewater. Nice little take and a little finger roll down the middle. But De Jesus, he kick-started Puerto Rico's offense, got things going early. And Alfonso, the archer, speared the arrow. And that was the putback by Enrique Freeman. Well, we'll take a look at the final standings to decide who will be joining Canada in the second round for windows 3, 4, 5, and 6. Well, there you have it, Jamaica. The two heavy defeats that they sustained in this window, unfortunately, after winning their opening 2 games against Puerto Rico, they have been eliminated. So congratulations to Canada, the Bahamas, and Puerto Rico as they'll be going through. Well, fans, we thank you for joining us. This is the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. For now, it's good night, goodbye, and God bless. Adios, and buenas noches.